these are from various professional bodies around the UK. The British Association for Counselling and Psychotherapy says there's no scientific, rational or ethical reason to treat people who identify within a range of human sexualities any differently from those who identify solely as heterosexual. The British Psychological Society has published guidance which says as same-sex sexual orientations are not diagnosable illnesses, they do not require any therapeutic interventions to change them. The British Psychoanalytic Council states the BBC does not accept that a gay orientation is evidence of disturbance of the mind or in development. And so, I mean, there's the Royal College of Psychiatrists. I can go on and on and on. Are you not simply preying on people who are vulnerable, who might be confused about their sexuality, who might worry about it, who might be anxious about it?
The point is we need to have checks and balances always,
Aren't
all
you
of us
preying on
on
those
both
vulnerable
sides
people?
of the equation. We're not
There's no
preying
checks and balances on you because anybody could set up to be a counsellor.
There are checks and balances
there
on
are.
me.
You're
not a professional body.
There certainly are.
What are they?
We are working through all sorts of organisations in the US.
What are the checks and balances?
Well,
in the US?
In the US
There's no recourse for
and
someone in
also
Britain
in Europe.
against a snake oil merchant like you.
Snake oil merchant. There you go again. Patrick.
Your theories have been discredited. You've been thrown out of your professional body. You know,
and here we still are,
apart from the fact that it doesn't work, apart from the fact that it doesn't work, apart from the fact that it doesn't work, there is a much more severe, dangerous side to this. I have seen the harm it does. I have seen the self-harm scars on people that have been through this. I have heard the stories of people who have attempted suicide as a result of going through
We're not listening
therapy.
to the voices.
Can you just finish? And what has led them to those extreme measures?
Because when you go through conversion therapy, you are told again and again that there is something wrong with you, that you can change. And when it doesn't work, because it never does, people blame themselves and they feel even worse. There was a study done by clinical psychologists more than 10 years ago which found that the majority of people that go through conversion therapy suffer worsened mental health as a result. They suffer increased rates of depression, anxiety, self-harm and suicidal tendencies. And furthermore, 2 years ago, the head of the world's biggest conversion therapy organisation, Alan Chambers from Exodus International, admitted it never worked. He then apologised to gay people for the harm he had done and immediately shut down the organisation.
The British government will not ban so-called gay conversion therapy. They say it would be complex as it could prevent lesbians, gay men and bisexual people from seeking counselling or therapy because they are distressed about an aspect of their sexuality.
No, this is nonsense. Gay people go to therapists all the time who are unhappy being gay because, of course, we live in a homophobic culture. It's hardly surprising that people struggle coming to terms with that. And therapists deal with that all the time. They deal with it in a very good way by exploring how they feel, by allowing them to come to terms with who they are and accepting who they are.
There needs to be options
we need things in place to protect people from these dangerous charlatans. The first thing the government should do is introduce statutory regulation for psychotherapists and counsellors so that you can't just set yourself up as a therapist like Mike here and start charging people. This is a very unbalanced conversation.
Can I respond to that?
Of course you can.
I think it's important to remember that the research that Patrick is citing there by Shidler and Schroeder was representing people who were already depressed and in a bad way before they began the therapy.
And it made it worse.
The methodology has been discounted so many times. We have asked for the peer-reviewed journals and evidence that show categorically, on average, that such therapeutic support is harmful, and it has not been presented because it doesn't exist.
Love needs no cure. Bigotry needs a cure.
Let me read these messages.
We're not bigoted.
On social media.
You are.
No, we're not.
Look in the mirror, Mike.
No,
you'll see a bigger and you'll see a gay man.
No, we're not.
Okay, let me read these
You
messages.
want to impose a label.
Thank you.
You want to oppose your agenda on vulnerable people.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike Davison. Thank you, Patrick Strudwick. Let me read these messages on social media. Stephen Hughes on Twitter says, gay conversion therapy sounds disgusting and completely backwards. I'm certain a person doesn't wake up one day, look in the mirror and say, oops, I'm gay, I better sort that. It is truly shocking. Jane Booth on Twitter, These aren't therapists. Therapists should accept their clients, not brainwash them. This is disgraceful. Nat.com on Twitter. To ban this therapy is to treat gay people like children who can't make decisions for and about themselves. And Angela on email, people have got this so wrong. Christianity is not about making anyone do anything. Christianity respects the choices people make, and the idea that it is out to eradicate a group of people for their lifestyle choices is utterly untrue. Christians will help anybody who wants to stop a homosexual lifestyle only if that's what they want. And if they want it, shouldn't they be allowed to have it?
Absolutely.
OK. Thank you both. Thanks for coming on the program.